Good afternoon, welcome to Watching Watches. Thank you for joining. It's been a while since I've uploaded another video, but I just received in the post my new strap from Uncle Straps, and this is for my King Samurai. This is my King Turtle. Now this is pretty much my daily driver. I do have other watches which I wear every so often, but this one without a doubt is the watch that I wear the most. It's robust. I feel like I can wear it in any situation. Maybe not to a wedding, but even then, I'm okay with it. I'm not really that bothered by, people's ideas of what's right and what's not. I wear whatever I fancy wearing when it comes to a watch. But as I say, this is a watch which I wear pretty much every day. It's robust, and I feel that this cushion on the Turtle just gives it that extra bit of protection, robustness. You can do anything with it. It's a proper tool watch. You can see from the bracelet here that it's really very well worn. And you get to a stage where you've got to wear your watches. If you don't wear them, then what's the point of having them? If you're collecting, unless you're collecting watches which are in the stratosphere, these kind of watches, if you're not wearing them, there's really hardly any point, in my opinion, to collecting them. So they've got to be wearable. So as I say, this one is pretty much my daily wear. But I do also have a King Samurai, and I've been swapping out various different bracelets and straps, and not bracelets but straps. So it came with the original Paddy Seiko silicone strap. The wording on it has already started to rub off, and so I took that off and I put this one on, and this is actually a very nice one. I bought it on Amazon. Paid about 18 or 19 pounds. It's silicone, but it's got a stitch on it, which is very nice, and it's got the quick release, which is nice. And I feel that the quick release system is really up to the game when it comes to changing out bracelets and straps and whatnot. And I think that brands really should embrace it when they're supplying you with a watch. They probably don't want to because they want you to use their strap, but if they would and actually offer up a selection of straps which are original, manufactured, then I think they'd make more money that way. But I'd like to see brands like Seiko offer that option of quick release, but we'll see if that ever happens. You do see brands like Tag Heuer, for instance. They've started to do that on some of their watches, which I think is very good to see. And they're obviously producing bracelets and bands as alternatives, and that's very clever. Anyhow, it was a bit of a struggle. I will say that it was a bit of a struggle, because the end links are always difficult on these big Seikos, and you have to use these calipers or something, something like this. Problem with that is that it does scratch up the watch a little bit. They're very sharp, these things, but we got there in the end without too many scratches, and here it is. I wanted something angular and boxy because the watch is obviously angular and boxy, and I just thought this was the best one to go for. It's got almost square links or oblong links, and I just thought it worked the best out of all of the options. And Uncle Straps, to me, has got a reputation. They're well made, and it's the first one that I've bought from them, and I'm quite impressed. There are some downsides, but overall I'm pretty impressed with it. It's well made. The links are all brushed, which does suit that. I don't like these carved, in the end link you have this to make it match. You've got these top two lines which are just, it's a solid piece, and that's just engraved in. And to me, most watch brands do that. I would like to see it either make it more pronounced or actually make them separate pieces just bolted together. For me, it just cheapens it a little bit. If you can see what I mean, the difference there between those two lines, and it breaks up the line. Anyway, that's me nitpicking, but really solid, nicely brushed, and look how thick that is. There's a real heft to this bracelet, and it's almost like Breitling-esque in terms of how hefty this bracelet is, and I like it. It feels good on the wrist, inspires confidence. You're not going to worry about this thing collapsing or breaking or anything like that. I'm wearing gloves simply because I'm in my workshop and my hands tend to get a bit grubby, so you don't need to see that, so I wear gloves. So there is a signature for the U for ankle straps. The actual clasp itself is CNC solid. The top bit here is stamped, as you'd expect. This fold over is also stamped. I'm not really sure if there's anything more that they can do because they have to be pretty thin. So I don't know if you can make these milled, but it's got a pretty solid action there. I can't really have any complaints with that. What you don't get is any kind of oh, you do you? No, you don't. You don't get any kind of extension there. No, you don't get extension. I mean, this watch didn't come with a metal bracelet. It only came with the Seiko divers silicone strap, which has that built-in sort of stretchy bit at the top there, which allows you to extend it over a wetsuit if you want to. But I think the vast majority of people, probably 99% of people, will never take this down underwater. Well, they'll take it underwater, but very unlikely to put it on a wetsuit. There will be some, but the vast majority won't. So I don't think that's an issue. Also, the other thing which I noticed as well is that the sides here are polished, which is very nice. It gives it a bit of glitz, but the sides of the watch are not polished, so it's a little bit unmatched. Okay, the center is polished, so there is a little bit of polish there, so I think we can get away with it. Without that, there'd be no polished area on there, so I guess it's nice to have a polished area on there, because there is a mix of polished and brushed on the watch case itself. So yeah, I suppose that works, but it is a lot of polished edge against a fairly satin or brushed finish on the side of the watch. That is pretty much it. Overall, I'm very satisfied. I think I paid about £80 on the Uncle website. I think it comes from, I'm not sure which country it comes from, possibly America, I can't recall. Didn't take too long, probably took about 10 days, something like that, to arrive. And all in all, a pretty good experience. If there was a way to get solid end links and quick release, that would be awesome. And for me, that would be the epitome of interchangeable bracelets and straps. That would be awesome. It means I could put a rubber strap on there if I wanted, and taking these off is no problem. You've got drilled lugs. It's really got no problem at all. It's putting them back on which are a little bit more tricky, and each time you do it, you're going to end up putting on a few more scratches. I didn't do too bad the job. There you can see a little bit of a scratch there, and some over there, and micro scratches, but on the front is the main thing, and the front I think is pretty clean. So there we go. So that's the Uncle Straps Engineer, I think it's called, the Engineer bracelet. Nice hunky chunky bracelet, and overall I'm very happy. Thanks very much. Catch you on the next one.